Hi there, I'm Xenia. I'm in Shanghai now, and in this video I want to share some cool spots I've checked out, but I'll do it in a way that's helpful and interesting for those planning a trip to Shanghai. This isn't my first time here, so I'll focus more on cafes, restaurants, places, streets and shops. I landed in Shanghai late at night. The maglev and metro weren't running then. Worried about taxi payments, I booked an airport transfer in advance. It cost $30, which is a bit pricey, but it's stress-free. The driver's suited up, there's water inside, and the seats are super comfy. It's really great. I checked into a hotel downtown. I was amazed when I arrived. For $50, I got a huge room, gym access, and breakfast included. The hotel's 6 minutes from the metro and about 1.5 kilometers walk to Yuyuan Garden. So let me show you the hotel. The first thing you notice is its size. The room is enormous, almost unbelievably so. There's a wall-to-wall panoramic window with stunning views of New Shanghai. It's actually quite charming with the rain right now. This massive double bed could easily fit 4 people, I think. There's a safe, nice hairdryer, artwork and space for luggage. Reading lamp, work area, fridge, water, kettle, TV, everything you need and more. And here's the bathroom. It's quite a bathroom. Everything you need for a comfortable short stay. There's a nice shower cabin here. I went for a walk in the French Concession. The French Concession in Shanghai is truly unique. It's an area that was under French rule for a long time. It's one of my favorite spots in the city with many French mansions. It looks stunning against the backdrop of green trees. Many buildings here are marked as cultural heritage sites. It's popular with youth and has lots of trendy places. There's also a Russian Orthodox church, but I couldn't get in. In the morning, I visited an adorable rabbit cafe. I'm usually indifferent to such places, but the rabbits in baskets drew me in. As someone who often goes out alone, it's nice company. Entry to this place costs 45 yuan. For this price, you can choose any rabbit and stay in the cafe for up to 2 hours. I also ordered a drink for 45 yuan. The cafe is clean with walls adorned by Japanese signs and figurines, oddly enough. A little dog also runs around here. I picked a rabbit and petted its ear for half an hour. I'm against petting zoos, so this place evokes mixed feelings, but the rabbits were wonderful. Even I craved the cuteness and fluff. That's why places like this still exist. The cafe is located in a historic district, by the way. The next place made my jaw drop. It's the Gentle Monster store. On the first floor, people queue for photos with a unicorn and rabbit. The rest is here. An elderly couple looking so real. The store's filled with cool art and sculptures. Upstairs, there's this famous moving head. It moves with details that'll blow your mind. They sell glasses for 3,000 yuan here. Usually shy in fancy stores, but staff here encourage trying on glasses and taking pics, even for someone like me. Next was a clothing store with a snowy mountain. Of course, it's all just sculpture. The top floor had a stone and wall exhibit. High, wide, deep and clever. It's a pricey store that draws crowds via social media. Always packed, hoping someone will buy something. Turns out this store's in other Asian countries too, not just Shanghai. Then I went for brunch at this amazing cafe with unique decor. It's all decked out in flowers, every bit photo-worthy. Love Chinese restaurants. The beauty's as exciting as the food. The place is truly extraordinary. The atmosphere matters more than the food. Now for the most interesting part, this is the most beautiful afternoon tea set. I showed the waiter what I wanted. He sadly said it's meant for 2 people. It's too large. I thought, too large? Perfect. I'll get more for myself then. The set included 2 drinks. First, a pretty pink glass, slightly sour. Second, mint, lemon and passion fruit. Simply divine. The aroma was incredible. Then came a huge tray of desserts. It resembled a garden with flowers and wooden trays. What was in the set? Apple fish cake, creamy fruit cheesecake. It's delightfully sweet. Fig and blueberry basket was a bit dry. Matcha pudding with coconut, slightly bitter. Coconut flakes, crunchy like chips, stunning presentation. Triangle with salted fish. Unusual, but I liked the sweet and salty mix. Lastly, a lemon pie in white chocolate. This place has other sets too. It's a European brunch cafe. Turned into quite a food day. For dinner, I tried an interesting BBQ place. I love meat but feel shy going to BBQ spots alone. I specifically look for solo dining options. This restaurant had a table walled off. There was a TV playing Chinese cartoons on the wall. It felt private and I wasn't self-conscious. I asked for a solo table. They had 4. You pick a set with unlimited meat to grill yourself. I've shown dozens of such places in my YouTube shorts. My set had frog that tasted like chicken. Had to try it. Seafood and several types of beef. There were unlimited fruits like mango and passion fruit, various veggies, delicious ice cream, and a huge drink selection. All this is unlimited for 2 hours. Shanghai has one of the world's most expensive and largest Starbucks. It's a fascinating place and I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking so. There's an area where you can watch them roast coffee beans. There's a full bar with alcoholic drinks here. Huge selection of interesting dishes, not just bread. There are souvenirs, but it looks like a real brand store. I got a tasty sandwich with arugula, Philly cheese and salmon. They have interesting signature drinks here. I'm having coffee with caramel and liqueur. Perfect for the morning. The atmosphere is amazing, definitely worth checking out. Paid $20 for everything and have no regrets. I stopped to see Shanghai's largest shopping mall, 12 floors and even a curved escalator. There's a whole floor dedicated to hobbies. Many anime and Chinese drama themed stores. I kept running into these characters. Saw an interesting store with various knickknacks. It has stationery, cosmetics, and Chinese gadgets. Not necessary, but you want to touch everything. The largest 3D Sunri style store is here too. On the 3rd floor, there's a space-themed restaurant that's always packed. Sadly, I couldn't get in due to the crowd, but the wow factor is evident even at the entrance. 1 floor up, there's an equally stunning Chinese-style restaurant. It's adorned with Chinese lanterns and traditional decor. It's a dream spot for those who love picturesque backgrounds. Other floors offer branded cosmetics and clothing for sale. Next, I found myself on Nanjing Street. I ended up in another shopping center. The highlight here is the Nike store. I bet you've never seen anything quite like it. There are only a few such high-tech Nike stores worldwide. I always get a kick out of familiar brands in unique settings. There are photo zones with mannequins suspended in various poses and outfits. You can learn about different shoe models here. It's like a futuristic store with impressive lighting. The ground floor even has games to play. This store has its own mascot created specifically for it. They also sell shoes and lots of apparel for running, yoga, and hiking. You can customize your own sneakers by choosing keychains and laces. It's a really cool souvenir to remember your visit. The sneakers are displayed in individual cases like museum exhibits rather than on shelves. There's a seating area to relax and free Wi-Fi. Prices are typical for Nike stores with frequent discounts like 20% off a second pair or 30% off a third pair of shoes. Even if you don't plan to buy anything, it's definitely worth checking out. I stopped by the iconic M&M's store. I've seen these candies on store shelves since I was a kid, and here there's a whole store dedicated to them. It's quite large, with statues of M&M's characters, cool lighting, and overall the store evoked a sense of childhood nostalgia. There's a sweet aroma of burnt sugar and caramel in the air. In some areas, they offer free samples of the candies. Sweets are packed in pretty boxes and bags. You can pick your own color scheme. Besides sweets, they sell Samdam's merch, like Samdam's mugs, teas, clothes, socks. Didn't expect much, but I got hooked. Then I passed by the famous Mart store. It seems there's a craze for these figures in Asia right now. Surprisingly, it's adults buying them, even older than me, not kids. There are many collections and you buy a sealed figure, never knowing what's inside. It's like a kinda surprise for grown-ups. You might get a cool figure or a dud making you buy another, hoping for better luck. The store itself is decorated in a really cool modern style. I'm neutral about these figures, but it was nice to walk around here. All these places are located on Nanjing Street. It's the longest shopping street, stretching for 2 kilometers. It runs from People's Square to the Bund. You can walk it end to end in about 30 minutes at a brisk pace. It gets really crowded here in the evening. Next, you approach the Bund. The Bund is lined with European-style buildings that don't look Chinese at all. Then I hopped on the metro and rode one stop. I got off at Lujazui Station. Here you cross an amazing circular bridge with a view of the Oriental Pearl. From here you get stunning views of Shanghai's new districts. I'm a foodie, so you know where this is going. There's this cool, popular dessert cafe, another wow factor spot on my list. The cafe looks like a spaceship or fancy exhibit, but it's actually a chain. The cakes here are like works of art with incredible detail. Besides cakes, they have all sorts of small desserts too. I decided to get 3 pastries to try back at the hotel. They were all mousse cakes with unique, unusual fillings. The presentation is so beautiful you want to savor every bite. They included utensils, so it's easy to take back to the hotel. My hotel's near Waning Road Station, so we'll start our journey there. From the window, I saw a small area of low-rise buildings. I'm always curious to see how people live. This area houses old Shanghai buildings known as Nongtang. These are narrow alleys with residential structures. The state is now restoring these historic buildings. The property prices here are astronomical today. Mansions have private yards and gated areas, plus gardens and terraces. It's cozy to walk here, reminiscent of historical films. Next, we're heading to the city gates. The map shows a typical ancient city layout. Cities were walled for defense, gates as main entrances. I passed one of Shanghai's most popular local restaurants. I tried their set meal, soup and stew. It's a unique, slightly spicy dish. It's a dish with floating pieces of tofu. The set included fried dumplings, some of the best in the city. This is a very traditional Shanghai dish. I've already mentioned that they're simply divine. Here they're made with either crab or pork. They're also served with sweet and sour sauce. It was absolutely delicious. The restaurant has a traditional decor creating a vibrant atmosphere. It was packed with people. From there, it's a 15-minute walk to Yuyuan Garden. This vast garden was created for elderly parents and covers an enormous area. I'll detail the interesting sights and what to look out for. At the garden entrance, you'll see many gold shops. These are state-owned stores selling gold at market prices. In China, it's customary to give gold as a wedding gift. Many buy it here. Next to the garden are shops selling Chinese medicine. There's a doctor upstairs who prescribe herbs based on your symptoms. You can buy them downstairs. This place is so colorful. When I saw the prices, I nearly fell over. The most common item is ginseng root. It alone costs about 1,000 yuan. They sold a few grams for 300 yuan. The highest price I saw was 9,000 yuan. Chinese prefer preventing diseases to treating them, so they visit traditional Chinese doctors for preventive care. They believe prevention is easier than treatment. I'm a bit skeptical, but all my Chinese friends believe in it. Well, they'd know best. Yuyuan Bazaar? Yuyuan Bazaar is one of my favorite spots in Shanghai. I don't think I've ever been to Shanghai without visiting Yuyuan. It's a beautifully restored area that shows how Shanghai used to look. It's basically a brand, old Shanghai. Now it looks like a movie set. No matter when I came, the signs and narrow alleys always charmed me. This street's great for a stroll, with shops selling cool souvenirs and local treats. Every time I visit Yuyuan Garden, it's always beautiful and fascinating to me. A full tour of the grounds takes about 2 to 3 hours. Entrance to the park costs $7. You can buy tickets at the entrance, but the lines are always long. I suggest buying tickets in advance to avoid queues and save time. I'll leave a link to purchase tickets in the description. Just show your QR code at the entrance. In my opinion, this is the most incredible park I've ever seen. I was really intrigued by the pavilions and gazebos. Ideally, come early to enjoy the serene atmosphere before the crowds arrive. In old Chinese society, women had no rights. They couldn't leave home or see men. This was especially strict for upper-class women. This small temple was unique because it depicted Buddha as a woman, not a man. Here, Buddha was portrayed as a female. Though unpopular, I preferred it to the famous City God Temple. Still, the City God Temple is worth visiting. The temple is over 600 years old. It's a stunning Taoist temple with Chinese zodiac Buddhas. Entry is paid and you can use Alipay. There's an amazing place in Bazaar. I hesitate to call it a shopping center. It's more like a museum. The whole place is dedicated to Chinese culture. The basement has antique shops. One owner collected items her whole life. You can find old communist posters and Mao portraits here. Artifacts from the Republic of China era. The swimwear is small, but it's fascinating. I could spend a week just exploring there, just sorting and examining everything. It was incredibly interesting and engaging. I experienced the famous tea ceremony. They explain tea types, brewing, and differences. Tea leaves are art, each folded uniquely. Broken leaves go to tea bags disliked by Chinese. They taught me about tea tasting and aromas. It's worth trying good tea in China. I'll stick to bagged black tea though. The Yuan metro station amazed me. It's like a station from the future. Look up when entering, it's remarkable. The station mimics water ripples. It's more like scenes from a sci-fi movie. Just incredible. I went to the usual spot.
It's a restaurant with an immersive experience. This is quite popular in China. The concept is dining on exquisite traditional dishes while enjoying a show. You can rent a hanfu, a traditional Chinese outfit. Makeup's available for a fee with garden photos after. Afterwards, I headed to Qibao's Old Town. Getting there was easy as it's at a metro station. I mentioned Haidilao in my last video, 2 hours away. Follow signs from the metro to the Old Town. Like many old towns, it's along canals with bridges. These bridges offer the most stunning views. Qibao means city of 7 treasures, but it's just a few streets. Traditional trade thrives along the narrow streets. You'll find stalls selling street food and drinks. Souvenirs and tea are cheaper here than near Yuyuan Garden. The most interesting spots are tea houses overlooking the old city. I spent 2 hours in this city. Qibao also has a non-touristy area. It's surrounded by ordinary low-rise neighborhoods, once part of it. This area wasn't included in the ancient city, but once was. Locals live there. From Qibao, it's a 15-minute bus or taxi ride to Hongqiao Airport. If you're in Shanghai or China, Haidilao restaurant is a must visit. I've been there about 7 times, always excited like a kid. The place is primarily known for its excellent service. While waiting, they'll serve you tea and snacks. Here you can get a manicure and even eat. This restaurant has massage chairs and a device that disinfects and removes food odors. It's a hot dog place where you pick ingredients to cook in your chosen soup. Check out the show schedule. I always try to catch the mask show. It's in Sichuan opera mask that changes skillfully with the music. It's quite a spectacle. This show runs several times daily. I usually come at 6:30. When I first saw this show, I was absolutely thrilled. If you order noodles, a trained performer will approach with poles. They'll roll out noodles in front of you while dancing. This show is the restaurant's signature attraction. To order, first pick your soup. You can choose 2 or 4 soups. Sauce is paid for separately. I always go for the spicy mala soup. Next, you choose your meat. I recommend the Angus beef. It's a sure winner. In spicy mala soup with sweet Japanese soy sauce, it's divine. Prices here are a bit higher than other hot pot places, but worth it. It comes out to about $25 per person. Hope they help you prepare for your trip.